Hey y'all, hey. Hey y'all, hey. It's been a while. I know. I haven't seen you guys since last year. I know it's been a while. How are you doing? How is everybody? How is your new year starting off? Are you guys like, do you fall into this new year resolution as far as being healthy and starting off and then you fall off? Like, talk to me. Tell me, what is your New Year's resolutions? Like, what is it that you do? I know it has been a while. I have been rebranding, not so much rebranding, just trying to figure out like what's best for me. Like when I got into the YouTube space, it was all about um, me helping people, right? And so I'm not getting as much response as I usually get on my other platforms like Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. And then I start to think, like, what is it that makes those channels so popular versus this one? Right. And granted, I know that there are 1,000 YouTube channels and everybody is saying the same message and they're probably doing it at the same time. And so it's all in what you align with, like who the person that you come to or listen to that aligns with whatever it is that is going on in your life. So I get that. And I understand that. So I got to thinking, and so here I am. And I started to think what made me so popular on Facebook and Instagram. And what made me popular is my themes, right? For those that don't know me, I'm still Miss Parker. I'm Miss Parker on Facebook. I'm Miss Parker on Instagram. I may have a different, it's LS Miss Parker. Those who don't know, my original name on Facebook is LS Mireille Miss Parker. And LS Mireille is Spanish for he is my king. At the end of the day, period, point blank. And then Miss Parker. Miss Parker is my name. But he is my king. That's LS Mireille. So if you ever see LS Miss Parker, you'd be like, what the hell is LS? I don't be they want to call me LS. I promise you, I've had people call me LS, right? It's cool. I understand. It's Facebook and people, I think, automatically um whatever you put out, they're gonna run with it. You know what I'm saying? Irregardless. And they're not trying to find the meaning. My name has a meaning. It's not just a name. My name literally has a meaning. Hey, what the? I did! Oh my God! Yes! Oh my God! This can be a celebratory video. Yes! What the funk? This could be a celebratory video of me reaching my 100 subscribers. I did. I have 15 videos. This will make the 16th video. You understand me? I did not have to make 100 videos to get 100 subscribers. You understand that? Let me just say this, okay? Yes, thank you. Oh my God, what the fuck? When I get off, I'm going to call you and we're going to celebrate. I am so excited that I made it to 100 subscribers. Thank you, my love. I appreciate the love. I do. Okay, so back to my thing. So I was thinking, like, well, maybe it's so popular because navigating these YouTube streams is different. You can still easily blow up on YouTube if you do and put yourself out there. I know. I don't. But I got to brainstorming, right? And so I am like, well, what may be popular on Facebook and Instagram versus YouTube? Like, what was the difference? And so what I start to think about is maybe popular is I always had this thing of themes, right? And so I have a Sunday confession, I have motivational Mondays, tip Tuesdays, wisdom Wednesdays, truth be told Thursday, factual Fridays, and speak on a Saturday, right? So that is what made me popular is the things that I was speaking on or projecting or putting out there was the things that people can relate to within theme, if that makes sense. So I decided today that let's try this in the YouTube space. Let's try this and see, if this can translate over as well. People need Motivational Mondays, Tip Tuesdays, Wisdom Wednesdays, Truth Be Told Thursday, Factual Friday, Speak On It Saturday, Sunday Confessions. Let's talk about it, right? So today is Tip Tuesday. I know I'm a little late. I know I was supposed to start Sunday. I know I'm a little late in the week, but I'm always a day late and a dollar short. I'm just gonna let you know I'm always a day late and a dollar short, right? So here we are, okay? And again, I am pressed on this energy. Now, mind you, I have this video coming up, and it is so good. It is responsibility versus accountability, right? That's coming up. That's gonna be, I think I'll be done either tomorrow or Thursday. That video is gonna be so good. It's really, I did so much research on accountability versus responsibility. And so I really want you guys to tune in because it's really going to be good. Like I did a lot of research on that, and I'm ready to prepare the knowledge. I just don't know if I want to do it for Wisdom Wednesday or Truth Be Told Thursday. I don't know. We'll see. But today, hello, is Tip Tuesday. Okay. And we are on relationships. That is what is the biggest thing in the Black community about relationships, which is even crazy because, which I'm going to talk about in my next video, but it's crazy that the women now are seeking relationships more than ever. Like I remember growing up, and I remember it was, um, you didn't need to be in a relationship. Like you can be on your own, you can do what you want to do. Like rah, rah, rah. This feminist movement, right? I'm 40. I just turned 40. Just to let you know, I just turned 40 in December, right? And so my generation, okay, and this is what was the extent of my generation. You can do, you can be, you don't have to be subjected to just being a housewife, as if being a housewife was something to be ashamed of. This is what pisses me off, right? This is what pisses me off. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. Let's just talk about it. And I know I'm not popular in the YouTube streets, especially among the women, because I'm not telling you guys what you want to hear. And that's okay. I'm fine with not telling you what you want to hear. Okay. My thing is to help educate you and to help highlight things that you already know, just to help get us back to the basics. That's it. That's all. That's what my channel was all about. For those of you that are new, right? So today, anybody that knows me knows that my culture is Hebrew, right? I don't have a religion. I don't follow religion. I follow the Bible. The Bible doesn't speak of religion in particular, but it does speak of a culture, which to me innately matters so much to me because it tells me who I am, what I am. It gives me a sense of identity, and I'm able to move forward based on those principles because I understand and I know who I am, right? So I am here we're going to, I guess it's a reaction video to my pastor, Pastor Dow, and his version of Role of a Wife. Again, this is just something that I think we've all got lost in. Like it's not as talked about as it should be. The particulars. Like everybody says they want to be a wife. Everybody wants to be a husband. Everybody wants to be married. But I don't necessarily know if people are aware of what it takes to be a wife, right? And so I am just here today for Tip Tuesday. I should have put that in description. I didn't even think about it. Tip Tuesday. I will for my next video. I'm going to put in my distinctive descriptions for my next video. But I am here just to highlight what the Bible says about the role of a wife is. Okay? I have my pastor, I have a video. If you follow my channel, you already know I already posted a video of just him. I didn't react to it or anything like that because it was a very short video of a role of a wife. And that was just a response of his wife. And so now we're going to hear what he feels a wife is supposed to be. Mind you, he's a pastor, right? Okay. So here we go. I hope I get it right. I'm still learning this computer stuff. So please bear with me. Don't be like, I know y'all be all in the comments talking shit, talking. Please don't. Okay, I'm still learning. Be patient with me. Thank you, my loves. Okay, so here's Pastor Dow. And if anybody want to know, this is Pastor Dow with Straightway Ministries. Okay, this is, you can check him out. He has over 6,000 videos of things that you need understanding when it comes to the Bible. And let me just be clear, like, the Bible says, study to show yourself approved, right? So a workman unto God, needing workman unto God, rightly divided the word of truth. You know what I'm saying? So you anything that I say, anything that Pastor Dow say, we always encourage anybody to look it up for yourself. Like, please, because the Bible say, prove all things, right? Prove it. If what you're saying is true, prove it, right? And so therefore, I stand by what he says. I stand by what I say, because it can be proven, right? Where are the results? Exactly. The fruit of your labors. You understand? So here we are. We are speaking today on the role of a wife. For those that want to know, what is it that the men are saying? What are the talking points that they're coming from, that the men are speaking on, and where is that coming from? And it's literally and truly all from the Bible. For people don't know, the Bible is red pill. I'm gonna tell y'all. I know y'all want to talk about red pill, purple pill, black pill, all this other stuff. I get it. I know it. You understand me? I know. Y'all don't really want to speak on it because you're putting a label. In today's generation, nobody wants to put a label. Like, we got, can I talk about it? Like gender fluid? Like, what is it? I don't understand it. You understand? Like, biology says I'm a man, I'm a woman. I don't know. It is what it is. You understand? So this is just a synopsis of what it is that the Bible says of what the role of a woman is. And we will be reacting to it. So I hope you like it too. Okay. I hope I get it together. I hope I have it right. Okay, let's see. Bear with me.
Citizens of YouTube, I got a couple of things I need to address here. Number one, it must be some brand new listeners, so I guess they need to know what it is. Anyway, when you see me having stuff like this on, I used to be a paratrooper some time ago. You know what I mean? Since then, I've done turned the page on that life. I spent 10 years in in the Army. I was in the 82nd Airborne Division. I was in Op 4. And a lot of this stuff is not going to make any sense to many of you people out there. None whatsoever at all. Just know this. I jumped out of airplanes, rappelled out of helicopters, done a lot of what today people call stupid stuff. I also raced sports bikes. I used to do some boxing and stuff like that. Anyway, so I hope we got all that out of the way. It's totally irrelevant, not even important for the inquiring minds who want to know. Let's just leave it at that, okay? All right, we'll just leave it at that right now. Okay, now let's go on. My new sister online, Rada, I think that's how you pronounce her name. From all intents and purposes, what I can tell, a wonderful woman. One who gets it, one who understands, one who comprehends very, very well the way that the family structure should be running. Now, let me go ahead and say this and say that. I also saw one of her videos, and I can understand the concern of her husband about, her probably getting too big, because I've got a pretty decent channel. My channel is not as big as some people and stuff, but there's quite a few people that listen to me. Matter of fact,
and let me say this, he does have a channel. It is Straightway Ministries. That is the church that I follow. Not even church. I think it's like a tabernacle. I think that's what they call it. Straightway Ministries. He has his own channel called Pastor Dow. You can look up Pastor Dow, and then you can definitely look up all 5,829 videos. Trust and believe. Okay, just let you know.
I think it's like 60% of my demographics that actually watch my channel are not even subscribed to me. Now, that's amazing, isn't it? For one reason or another. But anyway, this is a woman who is happily married. And from all intents and purposes, what I could tell, she speaks well of her king. her husband, which all women should. And the one reason why I actually mentioned her as opposed to other people is because she literally truly has it. She could literally come to some holiness churches. Of course, she would have to take off the makeup and all that other stuff and put a head covering on and really truly, go in order to be really, really, truly taken seriously and heard. Nevertheless, I like the sister. I like what her husband represents. I like the family structure. I like that she's a stay-at-home mom, but whatever I like is totally irrelevant in this. Let's just deal with facts here. So I've had a couple of comments as who in the world is this woman and so forth and so on. And matter of fact, one of them even said, does she even know anything about the Bible? Well, I'll tell you what, I can't answer that except what I hear from her. I do know that she has a love for Jesus, but let's just go ahead and deal with some of y'all issues out here, all right? And I know it's come from new listeners, definitely not from those who are actually in the ministry. What is the role of a wife? What is the role of a woman? You can't go by today's society standards because it's all messed up. It's all screwed up. Promiscuity, whoredoms, mistresses, knockoffs, jump balls, beat-alls, whatever the hell you want to call them. That definitely is not the model of how to build a successful family. Family courts, divorces, it definitely ain't it. People have to understand that they're being used and abused by a system out here. And that's the reason why that so many families and so many children are left without families that are together. As a matter of fact, the majority of the families or children in the world, especially in the United States of America, is growing up in very dysfunctional homes because either the wife or the man. And to tell you the truth, too many times more often than not, it's the woman that actually leaves the man. And let's go over a couple of things biblically so we can get everything online and people can comprehend and understand. All right? As far as divorce goes, a woman, according to the scriptures, should not divorce her husband. However, we understand that we're living in different times where men have a different a walk, a different character, a different nature. You can't be a man and abuse your wife and expect that she can't go to the elders and ask for a separation or a dissolving of that union.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there because I really want to speak on that because I think so many of our women feel as if like we're subject to enduring the pain and the suffering that comes along with being with someone that's not for us. And we just have to get along. We just have to do because that's what we're supposed to do, right? And I just passed it out, said it. I just want to reiterate that you can divorce too. I mean, of course we can. We know in, United States of America, the women are the one who, the highest rate of divorce, trying to divorce and all this other stuff. But the thing about it is we're divorcing for frivolous reasons because you're not happy. Well, guess what, my love? You are the sole person responsible for your happiness. Nobody else on this earth is responsible for your happiness but you. I loathe when I hear women speak on, well, I just wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy anymore. It didn't make me happy. At first it was fun. It was this and it was that. And it didn't make me happy. Pause. That's where you failed. You failed, my love. And I tell you that in all sincerity, this is where you failed, right? Because marriage isn't about happiness. Marriage is a duty, right? Happiness is a feeling. And guess what? Feelings come and go. Feelings come and go, my love. I guarantee you, you're in love today, and 6 months down the line, I loathe this man. I have a strong disdain for his actions. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really base what your life is going to be based on feelings. Now, granted, I know some people that may have a gut feeling and they can try to wiggle away their room through and talk about, well, I have this gut feeling, this is that, and it worked out for me. I get it. I get it. I understand it. Guess what? You're the anomaly. Okay. I'm not speaking towards you. I am speaking on the majority. And guess what, my loves? Everybody is an anomaly. Everybody isn't an anomaly. Anomaly means it's special, right? And not to say that nobody else is special, not to give that message, but there are certain characteristics, certain things within certain people that exude certain characteristics that just can't be taught. That is just in them. That is just who they are, right? And so I just want to make that distinctively clear, because so many of our women, we are just stuck on this feelings. And mind you, I get it. Okay. I was stuck on this fantasy. I was sold this dream of somebody coming and saving me on a white horse. And I was going to be like, I get it. I understand. Trust and believe. I get it. And I understand about the savior of being on this white horse. You know what I'm saying? And somebody coming to save you. That's what we were taught at the end of the day. But you know what? You know what I find ironic is that women look forward to somebody saving us on this white horse, but yet and still we stand our ground on we don't need to be saved and we can do it on our own. But secretly yearn to be saved. Okay, so back to Pastor Dow.
You cannot be a man and call yourself a husband and you're not providing. You see, anytime you're in breach of the Torah, the law, anytime you're in breach of it to where you're not providing food, clothing, and conjugal rights, you're in breach of a contract. You're in breach of the biblical order of things, the way that God has set this thing up. And
again, let's speak on that. Like, this is how God set this up, right? Man is supposed to take care of a woman. Woman is supposed to take care of a man. But man takes care of a woman financially. At the end of the day, if you're not providing wholeheartedly for your woman, believe me, baby, you just as much in the wrong as the women. Let's talk about it, right? Because I always say that men are the image. Well, not me. The Bible says men are the image of God. Woman is the image of man. And when I speak to my women, I always talk about when you find yourself romantically involved with a man and you have feelings for this man, and you guys are dealing with each other on a certain amount of time, and for a certain amount of time, you then begin to resemble or act like the man that you're with. That's just in our nature. It's in our nature because we are the subconscious mind, and men are the conscious mind, right? If that makes sense. If anybody knows the difference between conscious and subconscious, how conscious is able to recognize the difference between right and wrong, what's truth and not truth, false, you know what I'm saying? And your subconscious, all it does is just absorbs. That's it. It doesn't have any recollection or knowledge of what's right and what's wrong. Its job is just to absorb. And the women are the subconscious, and the men are the conscious of the mind. If you can think of it like that, it kind of makes sense, because the conscious mind is what leads you, right? The conscious minds lead you through life, navigates you through life, helps you understand different things and all this other stuff. And your subconscious mind is there to just highlight, hey, don't forget about this. Hey, don't forget about that. Hey, what about this? Hey, what about that? And then your conscious mind just, okay, thank you for reminding me about this, because I'm definitely going to get on that. And you know what? That really wasn't good, but I thank you for pointing it out to me. And I'm okay with that, because I'm good with that. I already know what that is. You can shut that down. That's the thing of conscious versus subconscious, if that makes sense. Please feel free. Please don't ever take what I say verbatim. Like, If you disagree, feel free. Put it in the chat. Let me know. I would love to hear your perspective on the things that you say. I just like to give that analogy of conscious and subconscious, by men being the conscious and women being the subconscious, because we observe everything. We're learners. You know what I'm saying? Man is the image of God. Woman is the image of man. Hence why we call one man, because we're the image of the man, right? Okay. So back to pass it out.
Anytime you do that, you automatically are reneging on the contract. And see, what most people want to do is they want to sit back and they want to try to force the woman, because of this wicked society, to get into the role of a man. Then when she gets in the role of a man, everybody wants to start griping and complaining. Well, the role of a woman is this: wife, Ishaya, is this: and thy desire shall be to thy husband. Let's stop right there. All these religious people out here in the world, all of these religious people out in the world, especially these women today, I call them Jezebel, mistress mouth women. They actually think that they understand and comprehend the word, but see, most people don't understand today because there's too many feminist voices out here. Too many old women that has been divorced or separated or been turned more times than a doorknob is trying to give advice to the younger generation. Well, I might add, younger generation, you'll be stupid to listen to some of these used up quacks and these used up hags. I'm telling you, leave them alone. They have nothing for you. All you got to do is just look at their life. Forget about what they say. Just look at them and see if they actually fit the bill. I'll give you an example. Mother Carol and I think we met when I think either 15, 14 or either 16, 15, somewhere along in there. And I don't mind telling you that Mother Carol and I so-called dated probably about 2.5 years, maybe 3 years before we even had sex. And even back then, we thought that we like, oh my God, we committed a sin. Oh my God. Couldn't even really enjoy it so much because we was too busy wondering about if we sinned against Yah. And mind you, I wasn't nowhere near in the commandments like I am now. And mind you, we've been together 37 years and have had 2 children. My son this year be 34, my daughter 31 after Mother Carol. All right? Don't tell me that we don't know anything about marriage. Mind you, I'm a pastor of a fairly decent large organization and stuff, and not only that, you can call it an organization, or we call it an assembly. And I have been counseling people on marriage for decades. See, I live and I preach and I teach. And Mother Carol, she knows she's married to a good man. You see, the problem is that we're having today is that this sister out there, Rhoda, she's actually speaking and saying the things that these Jezebel, wicked, rebellious, full of mouth, full of pride and arrogancy and discord and dissension don't want to hear. See, the majority of our audience, which is, I assume from what I hear, is a Christian woman's audience. And I keep telling y'all, Christianity and every religion is outside of the Bible. So when you see women run around these loud mouths, women preachers, women teachers, women trying to lead men, that is total chaos and disorder, because that is not what the book preaches and teaches. A woman's desire is supposed to be to her husband, him and him alone. She's supposed to leave, when she leaves her father's house, she's supposed to go straight to her husband's house, and then she's supposed to be conformed to his image. That's what.
I don't think a lot of our women know that. And the reason that I say that is because so many of us have been taught to live life away or apart from the man, right? And to go out and get your degree and make sure that you have a backup plan just in case this man leaves you. Like so many of us, I think, are conditioned to that. And they don't even know what it's supposed to be, what God has intended for us. We're literally supposed to be with our fathers, right? We leave our fathers, our family, and we go with this man and we build a life with this man. And if this man decides to, no longer deal with us, he bring us back to our fathers. And I know in today's time that sounds so absurd for our modern women because what? How you gonna do away with me? Like, does he know who I am? Right? I get it, my ladies. I get it, my loves. I totally and completely understand the concept. I get it, right? But that's not how God intended for us to be. Okay? We're literally supposed to go. First and foremost, I always speak and say that we are so lost because we don't know who we are at the end of the day. And I think once we realize who we are, understand who we are, then we can act accordingly. See, we're out here winging it. Black people are out here winging it, right? Because our whole culture has been ripped from us because they understand we're the true people of Israel. I got black people right now that's saying, I'm not no, everybody ain't Hebrew. Listen, listen, my loves, in a real way. And I can understand your religious beliefs, but this is what the Bible says. Like, this is the reason why we are enduring what we are enduring as a people, as a whole. Now, you can talk about you not being Hebrew and you Christian and make that distinctive all you want, but Christians and Hebrews are all in the same boat, right? So whatever it is that you call yourself, right? We're still in the same boat. And this is the reason why, okay? Because we don't know our history. We don't know what we're supposed to do. So again, I'm just highlighting for those that are coming in. I'm just highlighting. W2P, I got you, boo. I'm gonna add you to the chat right now, my love. I think I know how to do it. And then I want to get your perspective on some things as well. Okay. I got you. I did it. Ah! They're celebrating. Look, I got my drink. We celebrating. Can I hear you? Hello, my love.
Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, I can. How are you?
I'm good. You have literally distracted me from a workout, but I was like, this is, I can't miss this. So I'm glad to see you back.
I didn't mean to distract you from your workout. I would hate to take away that,
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna get as soon as you are worth it. You are worth it. I want your voice to be heard more, and I hope with this conversation, we have a few great points that are able to be shared later on and kind of expose your channel for what it should be, which is a whole lot of logic and a whole lot of love. So let's get back to what this gentleman was talking. Before you kind of went on your next point, you were bringing up how women are legitimately supposed to be like the subconscious to relationships for men. And you're absolutely correct. And this is what's happened, though, is now women have become the ultimate distraction because of the amount of entertainment and bullshit that they ingest, whether it comes from their job, whether it comes from their friend circle, whether it comes from what they're watching on television, and what they're watching in music. When a woman puts all those distractions out of her life, she's going to be so valuable to a man. And at the same time, that man has to also, curb some of his distractions. But there's some women who are like the crystal women that a lot of people like to call them, the crystal sisters, the sisters that be, praying to, who have the tarot card. Right? A lot of people make fun of them, but I've had real conversations with them. And I think they're more aligned with what a man needs more than a lot of Christian women, because they understand how important it is to keep that BS out of their cipher in the first place. And the things that women watch on television a lot of times are so detrimental to what the relationship needs to be and how to maintain the relationship. And the last part is, if women can purge those things out, then they are completely in their feminine and where they're supposed to be for a man, where they can start looking at the situation that the man is trying to do, start looking at the path that the family is supposed to be going towards, and then offer very good advice that's not pop culture advice, but advice that she's actually feeling. That's why I think it's very important for, especially our sisters, there's nothing wrong with being Christian. But if you want to have those Christian values, you have to also make sure you're not putting anti-Christian values in your cipher, which is anti-Christian values in hip hop, anti-Christian values in media and television, anti-Christian values with your work friends and your sister friends, because they ain't saying nothing Christian like, and anti-Christian values with whatever you grew up in your past. You have to purge that out of you and then come out of that new cocoon as a new type of Christian, which is a Christian that's aligned with what Christianity is supposed to be.
Yes,
I'm not a Christian, and I have no smoke for people who are Christians. I was raised in a Native American, so I got too much bitter stories from, the elders for me to ever really, I'm gonna be a Christian now. Them natives they ain't forget. They still pissed.
Side eye. Yes.
so I have their stories in me. But as far as reading the text and the original text and knowing that the story of Christianity honestly was a copy paste from the stories from Kemet in Egypt. It's the exact same thing. Once you go further back and realize the real story of Christianity, it's a good blueprint to follow. And the last thing I want to say is that I learned this from watching the movie Dogma. It was a movie written by Kevin Smith. Okay. And Chris Rock was in there, and he was kind of playing the black 13th apostle that was left out, the 12 apostles. He was left out because he's black. He said there was 13 apostles. But it was a comedy. It's definitely worth watching.
Love it.
But you've seen it. Okay. Well, there's a part that he's saying the thing that people messed up with Jesus Christ is that Jesus is upset that people made a belief system out of what his teachings are. He said Jesus didn't want people to have belief systems. He wanted people to have ideas. And because with beliefs, people will kill for beliefs. People will die for beliefs. People will not move in their beliefs. People's beliefs, once they believe something, are concrete. Whereas with idea, you can still have a belief, but it's like a bamboo stick. It's still movable, and that's why I study Taoism, alchemy. I study all religions, but I think it's very important to realize that every religion is equally wrong. All of them. Nobody knows what's really up there. There is something up there, best believe, but no one's really figured it out. And I think it's important to believe that everybody's equally wrong. And if you just come at it from that perspective, you're allowed to pick the jewels out of the shit, because it's all shit. You can listen to a pastor who ain't shit, but you can pick out some nuggets and like, okay, well, that's some. Now, if it's all shit, then, get out. And if you find yourself really believing 100% of what one person's saying, you're not thinking or seeing it clearly enough. That means you're becoming more of like a cult type mindset where it's like everything that person says is truth. Really? Like you can hear everything that person's saying and not see any fault in it at all, or not. That means you're not trying. That means you've just completely become a bee to that person's message. You should always come in with a critical thinking, critical thought, and be willing to analyze. And if it's wrong, it's okay if it's wrong. It's just like, okay, well, that part, it's not really for me, but that person's giving me 75% diamonds, so I'm gonna keep listening to that person. And everything you're saying has been spot on. But I've said,
thank you, my love.
The distractions, but the women are having too many distractions to really put themselves in a. You can be a wife. You can do wifely shit according to modern Christianity and modern society, but you're not really doing wife shit the way that it really needs to be done. Let's talk about it.
Yes, sir. I wanted to push back, but I'm going to go into the video because I love what you said, and then I want to talk about it later after the video, because I think so many people.
Write some notes.
Yes, so many people gravitate to that, and I love that. I love that because the Bible says prove all things, right? At the end of the day, whatever somebody is saying, make them prove it. You know what I'm saying? And the way they prove it is the fruits of their labor. You know what I'm saying? Yes. What have you done?
Not with words, not with what they say, but how they are moving. Yes.
Actions. Exactly. So I love what you said. So let's get back. And then, I hope I didn't mess it up. Okay. Boom. Oh, look, I was getting so good at this. Can you tell?
You got him looking. You got your pastor looking bad, like he about to sneeze or he about to punch somebody.
Oh, my pastor's with it. My pastor's so with it. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't understand.
You don't get this message.
She's supposed to submit. She's supposed to be agreeable. She's supposed to obey her husband. Now, we're talking about a husband that's doing his duties and responsibilities. We're talking about a very responsible man, one that doesn't abuse physically or verbally, one that actually goes out and wins the bread, one that say, look, listen, watch this. in this world today. One that wants his wife to obey the Bible and be a chase keeper at home. You see, when we came to this, myself and Mother Carol, first thing I did was get her off the job. Matter of fact, even before then, she didn't even work much because even I was a private in the military, even I was a private then in the 82nd Airborne Division, I still made her stay off the job, especially when we was going to have our first child. Because that is a full-time job alone when a child comes in. They hardly get any sleep whatsoever at all. And she...
Let's talk about that. I just want to say, I so want to say that is so true about us not getting sleep because we're breastfeeding, right? So yes, when a child gets up, they need to nurse, they need to feed, and we are up. So I just want to, give acknowledgement to Pastor on the fact that he is acknowledging that when we have it, we're not sleeping. The things that we are doing, the sacrifices that we are making for our children because we love our children, right?
But what is your goal supposed to be after giving birth for that first year? What is your goal as a woman supposed to be?
Feeding and nurturing this baby.
Right. Your goal, the overall goal is supposed to be very simple. Breastfeed that child for 1 whole year so it has full capability and health later on in life. And that, especially in the American system, is not practiced at all. They expect mothers to go right back to work within 4 weeks.
Yes.
Here in Germany, women get off for an entire year, and they get off paid from their jobs. So it's very because they want healthy children because that's they have a socialist system. So it's not a capitalist system. The socialist system, they don't want a whole lot of people sick because that's going to end up messing up the system. So they have when my ex had my child, she was paid fully from her job, half from her job and half from the government. And they made sure that whatever she was getting paid when she was working, she gets. And me as the father, I also had 4 months off from my job paid. Wow. So I can make sure that I'm good. Yeah, 4 months off. And 3 months before the baby came.
Wow.
So, because the goal is that someone is there, because if you ever see how wolves are, and this is where, but it's supposed to be, and Native Americans did the same thing. When a woman has a child, she's supposed to, the man is not even supposed to be around that much because men aren't built to deal with y'all's tempers in that moment. We're supposed to still be going out, providing and doing things, and we come home and see you and kiss, hug the children, cuddle you, but we're not supposed to be around you to when you want to get stuff. You're micromanaging because that's going to lead to the arguments. That's why a lot of men end up leaving after relationships. It's that postpartum. I think Native Americans understood what postpartum was before it was even given that term, that women are a different creature after a child. And she's supposed to have her sister tribe, her sister friends, and let's say in our community, it's supposed to be the women in my side of the family, the women of your side of the family. They're supposed to shower you and give you money and give you gifts. So for that whole year, you're not supposed to be working. And so for that whole year, all you're doing is worrying about, I want to go cook. Girl, sit your ass down. Like your sister friends can say that to you, and I can't because I'm a man. But your sisters can be like, look, I was pregnant too, and I wanted to go up and do. No, we don't need your help. We just need you to come. You just sit and be cherished with these gifts that we're giving you because we want that child to be very important for the unit of our family. The child is what's important. So as we do this for you and you just sit in your feminine, you can start after a while. Now you start to get working out again. Now you start to make sure you start doing your jumping jacks and getting your cardio right. Now you start making sure that your body's returning back to what your body was that your husband wanted in the first place. We have to figure out a way to start looking at how animals do this and how a lot of Native Americans did the same thing and take code from that because it's beyond logical. Men complain about women falling off after the baby. This is the solution. Before the baby even comes, women of that man's side of the family and women of that side of the family. And I, as the man, should be able to have that conversation with them. Before the baby even comes, I don't want my woman to work for a year. So how do we put her in a position where she can simply just rest at home and she can get what she needs to get? And she always has somebody there with her, younger female cousins, yeah, whatever. Women who want to see what it's like for, motherhood. That's why in Japan it's like sister wives. A lot of times it's the younger teens of the family, so they can actually see what it's like to hold a baby, see what it's a celebration for a whole year. And the man is supposed to be out, still providing, not around that chaos, because we don't want no parts of it. I promise you, we don't. We want to see it when we come home. Oh my God, it's my baby. That's my wife. I love you. Kiss, kiss. Ain't gonna be no sex no time soon, probably. But I get to see that. I get to see my nest, and then okay, now I'm gonna walk away. Yeah, I'm gonna go into a whole other space, and I might even take my child with me for that space for a little bit, so you can kind of get out of mommy mode. But of course, it has to come back in a few hours so it can breastfeed again. That's the logic to it, and that's a code that we need to start trying to implement in our own community, because our government's not going to do it for us. It has to be a code that we start doing for ourselves.
I agree. I totally agree. Yes, sir. I agree. I love it. Okay.
So how could we implement that from a female's perspective? How could we actually? Because I'm all about solutions. So that's an idea that could easily, I think, work. How will we promote that in the community? Would it have to go through the church? Like, how will we have to do this to actually make this logical thing happen?
I think that's all still cultural. I think that our culture has been chipped away so much that we aren't allowed to do what we used to do. Like even midwives, like I work in OBGYN. I work in, labor and delivery. So I see so many pushback from the midwives, from the doctors and the nurses. And I think the nurses, it comes from the pushback from the doctors, right? And
are you talking about like the white supremacy nurses, the ones that have been educated in the formal system? Or are you talking about midwives?
All doctors.
Okay.
We're talking all doctors. We're speaking of, that's why I love the program that I work for, because it includes midwives. It includes doulas. It includes all these people that are advocates for the pregnant woman and their child. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love about my program. My program is called Mama's Program. Not my program. The program that I work for is Mama's Program, right? And it is alluded to the mother and her community and what's around her. You know what I'm saying? And that, I think, makes so much of a difference because of the support. And then the outside, us, the medical team, supports whatever it is her community is. Right?
Well,
and if she doesn't have that,
do you see the families coming in to help?
Yes, we're welcoming. See, we welcome it in Los Angeles. We welcome it in, I don't know, I can't say for every other state. In the city of Los Angeles, California, all of Los Angeles County. This is what I know. Los Angeles. Now, I've been on calls of other programs across the state that mimic what it is that we do, but they're not to the extent of the ordeal, the structure of what it is that we have. Like they don't have the extent of the structure, right? Of everything that we've created to be able to have the mom to have the full roundaway support, right? Yes. All around. And so our program allows that for her parent. We not only work with the mother, we work with the father, especially me. I don't know too many people. I'm in Spot 6. Spot 6 is strictly Los Angeles, and that's the majority of the Black people, right? I will assume they put me in there because I was Black, because there ain't too many of us that work for the program. So I will assume that they put me there because I am Black, right? And I can identify with the Black patients, right?
Yes.
And so in my spot area, but I also work in another spot.
Wait, I thought you said Black patients, like the patients of Black people. I didn't realize you meant Black patients.
No, like, Black patients, literally.
I thought you were like, I'm better at Black patient. And I'm like, I bet. Wait, no, she meant patients. Like
patients. Oh, literally, my patients are Black. Yes, and so our program is designed to help aid and assist pregnant women and their families. You know what I'm saying? And what that looks like. We have a distinctive intake form that allows the doctor to see into their lives, past and present, to be able to help guide them and navigate them to make sure that they are able to help her in her pregnancy and her other family as well. Like we have doctors, we have nurses, we have case managers, we have therapists, all of that is combined for our patients for whatever they need. We have them as long as they're in the clinic. And after they have the baby, if they choose to still continue to deal with our program, we then come to them. We'll go to them instead of them coming to us in the clinic. We'll go to them. If they need nurses, they need help with breastfeeding. If they need help with postpartum depression, we'll send therapists. If they need help with breastfeeding, we send nurses. If they need help with resources, we'll send a case manager out. So our program is designed to help aid and assist that population. If that makes sense?
Yes. But do you find that your program is doing a lot of the legwork, or are you all actually able to bring in the women of that woman's family and the women of that side, that man's side of the family, to help in that process? Or are you all kind of left more to kind of be doing all the work, which is not what you're supposed to be doing? You're supposed to be coming in to give the blueprint for the family to follow. Do you find that more cases than not, the families do come around and help that mother the way that she needs to be helped?
Well, our ultimate goal is to make our family self-sufficient at the end of the day, right? That's the ultimate goal, right? Some people get it. Like I always say, everybody doesn't have that initiative. You know what I'm saying? No matter how you raise, who you raise with, no matter what influences you have, it is just something in you to take the initiative. Other people, like you have employers and you have employees, right? The employers are the ones that are going to take the initiative. They're going to take whatever information that they give, alluded to their personal life and succeed and progress, right? But then you have people that, I need a little extra help. I need a little carry me. I need you to tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? There are two different people, and knowing who you work with, I think is the key. At the end
absolutely
of the
right. Ms. Parker, you've been working out because you did that clap, and a few months ago you had some extra jiggle in your arm.
I had some jiggle.
It's forming up though. It ain't jiggling like it used to jiggle. So whatever you've been doing for your workout, keep it up. I see.
It's my Tybo. It's what worked for me long time ago when Tybo was out. I went back to my Tybo. Shannon had me doing some, I don't even know what the hell it was. But it was too much. Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm going to go back to what I know works. And I've been going back to my Tybo. Thank you. Because everybody said, they even said my butt was getting bigger. I just want to put that out there.
We're gonna talk about this when that stream over, okay?
Yeah. We'll talk about it later. Yeah.
Let me get my thirsty.
You know what? I miss you so much. You are my friend. I freaking love you, WTP. You are, and I've been seeing you navigate your way through the streets. I was like, look at him. And they always talk about, oh, that's my friend. I'll be like, pause. That's my friend. I don't know. Y'all just know him. I really know him. Like, y'all don't know him like I know him. Okay. So I'm going to get back to the screen. Okay, let's get back to what Pastor was saying, and then we're going to conversate. And then anybody else that want to come on, I will put the link in the chat. And if you want to come up, please come up, join the conversation. I would love to hear your thoughts, because everything that I do, I always want to just spark a conversation. I want to spark a thought, spark an idea. I don't never say that what I say is verbatim. It's the be all, end all. At the end of the day, what I say is just my opinion, is just my observation. You know what I'm saying? Even the Bible says, study to show yourself approved. So whatever it is that I say, you look it up for yourself and see if what I'm saying is the truth or not. And please, chew the meat, spit out the bones. You understand me? Don't take what I say. Look, the girl who, Tasha K, just got hit up for her opinion. Like, this is the world we're living in. Well, we had the freedom of speech, right? That's a amendment. We got the freedom of speech. And yet, because we got the freedom of speech, we can then be monetized for $1.5 million for our freedom of speech.
You don't have the freedom to lie. You have the freedom of speech, but you don't have the freedom to lie and to fabricate.
That's interesting.
You don't have the freedom to slander. You don't have the. You can say you can say what you won't say, but you can also be held accountable for what you said.
I mean,
that's with alchemy, or that's with capitalism. The things you say, gossipy wise, will alchemy wise come back on you.
That's why I say study, show yourself approved. That part. Yes, sir. Okay. So here we go.
actually really truly nurtured my children while I was gone. And I tell you, and of course what I did was I mostly played with them. I changed a few diapers and stuff, but I was gone so much. I didn't have nothing to worry about. I didn't have to worry about her creeping. I didn't have to worry about her being at the NCO club. I didn't have to worry about her being out on the streets and nothing like that. She was a homebody. The majority of the women today, they're not homebodies. Majority of these women today, they're trying to go to college and trying to do monkey double backflips and see how many they can do. They're too busy trying to have whole phases. And after you get finished with all this sowing your oats and whole phases and thereby defiling yourself, lowering your value, done had so much DNA, done had so much DNA inserted into them, they wonder why they're depressed. They wonder why they're batshit crazy. They wonder why they just anytime they turn around, they pop off at a man, and you don't even know at that time, man, if you're dealing with Jeff or Wesley or Harold or John or Smith or Chance, or you don't know who you're dealing with at any given time, but you do know this, that thing sitting in front of you that's supposed to be effeminate, that thing that's supposed to be allegedly a Proverbs 31 woman, a virtuous woman whose price is far above rubies, whose husband doeth safely trust in her, you don't see that. As a matter of fact, the Bible goes the opposite way. It says it's better for a man to dwell on the top of a roof than in a house with a contentious woman. The Apocrypha says she doesn't go as you go. Put her ass away from you. Now, I insert the word ass, but it's ass is all throughout the scripture too. But put her ass out. Get rid of her and find somebody better. Period. But you think Christianity in this culture, in this world, gonna teach that? No.
Okay, I just want to go back because it was so funny. I was just talking to my daughter, and I'm always preaching, as my kids say. And I had told her, okay, this is it. I'm not going to preach no more for the rest of the night. Like, that's it. Like, anytime they ask me a question, I always take an opportunity, or they ask me for something, I always take the opportunity to preach. And so I was like, I'm not going to preach no more. She said, Mommy, don't tell a story. And I didn't understand what she meant by don't tell a story. And I was like, oh, you mean a lie? And she said, yeah, Mommy, you still preaching. Like, you're going to always preach. Like, don't tell me you not going to preach, right? And I was like, wow, I had to break it down to her what the origin of cuss words. Like, cuss words isn't in the Bible. Like, Christianity has so many rules of what you can and can't do that isn't even a part of the Bible. Like, the curse words is meaning you putting a curse on somebody, like, I wish you was dead, or I hope you died. That is curse words.
Yeah, you going to hell.
Yes, that is curse words. Shit, fuck, all this other stuff isn't. I said, baby, if what you saying is I'm lying, so tell me that. Like, I same as our others. The others, you see their kids and they be like,
others. Yeah.
Oh, fuck, Mom. I'm saying, excuse my language, oh, shit, like,
oh, shit, Kathy.
Like, how are they cussing in front of their kids? But they understand, they know that it's not really, it's a word.
Yeah.
It's a word. It's not a curse.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I just want to help my people understand and realize that the difference between a curse word and a word, you know what I'm saying? What society has deemed is curse words really isn't, unless you're cursing somebody, then that becomes what the Bible deems as a curse word. Just so you know. Then we're going to do that.
Like if a kid maybe steps on something and says, God, shit, yes. And the mother be like, don't you dare disrespect me by cursing in front of me. And I'll be like, that's not real. Like he had a natural reaction to pain. But if that same kid says like, oh my God, Mom, I can't stand you. All right, well, why are you here? Now that's a curse. But the mother doesn't quite take that in the same veracity as him just saying that bad word. Because it will be conditioned. Exactly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Just let you know. Okay, I'm not going to interrupt no more. I'm going to let him speak.
It's your show. She is going to be a real true biblical woman. A woman that's going to keep her home together. She's not going to go and chase her husband around, see what the hell he's doing. She's not going to sit up there and try to rule him. She's not going to try to control him and tell him what to do, because that's the quickest way to get him bitter. And then the Bible even teaches husband, be not bitter against your wife. See, these are the things that women do that cause men to be bitter against them.
Okay, let me stop that there. I'm sorry. I know I said I wasn't, but I lied.
You're telling stories, Ms. Parker. You're telling stories.
Because I feel this is such an important part. It is such an important part of what it is that we do out of habit, out of what we've been taught. And what I want to say to my women is we've been lied to, my loves. We have been like, this is not the behavior in which we should behave. If it is a blueprint, if it's something, if you're looking for a blueprint of how you're supposed to be, Proverbs will tell you. Proverbs, the Bible, period, will tell you. You can follow women in the Bible to see how it is that they move and they behave. But definitely Proverbs, like even God, let me find a wife. I don't find nobody. There's nobody right here worthy of being a wife. They said in the Bible a long time ago. So it didn't just start now. Women have been defying for a very long time. It's in our nature. It's innately. You know what I'm saying? But it takes a strong man to put us in our place to be like, hey, what you gonna do? Either you're gonna get right or you're gonna get left. At the end of the day, you're gonna get right or you're gonna get left. Period. Period, point blank. At the end of the day.
That's really the only power a man has.
Yeah.
Like the only man, because men are not built to argue back and forth with you. And I think that's something that these new modern men have learned because they've been raised by so many single women. So now we have so many men who will argue back and forth with you and maybe even argue you down. That's not supposed to be the nature of a man at all.
Yes.
Our power is that if you don't get right, I will leave you to your own devices.
Yes.
But this is the problem with how state it's child support and alimony has become a crutch. Because let's keep it 100. If men can say, you know what, you're not acting right, I'm out. And then all of a sudden you have to go back to your family without all of what you built. You have to go back to your family. That's how it's supposed to be. And now this is where women will get super pissed off. But that's logical. And when there's children involved, that man is supposed to go with his children.
Yes.
And you go back to your family.
Yes.
And you either have to start over again and you can see your kids, but this is where kids are mine because I pushed them out. If you look at how the body looks, sperm looks exactly like what a person's head is, and the tail looks exactly like the spine. And the woman's egg is the outer casing body of it. It's the legs, it's the feet, it's everything else. But the sperm is the brain and the spine. That is the most integral part of your body. The sperm is super important. The women have the egg, which builds the outcasing of every other part of the body. But the important part is the brain comes from us, the man. The spine that moves the entire body comes from us, the man. So scientifically speaking, you just have the goo to give the sperm life. But the sperm is who you are. You are your father's sperm. That's your brain. That's your.
Yes, I get so much pushback.
Yeah, clip that and get canceled. Go ahead and clip that.
I will. I'm gonna clip it because I get so much pushback on that. Because the women feel because they carry the seed and to term and they push it out and they go through these labor pains that the child is mine. Pause. The seed belongs to the father. I even get pushback from that from men. Men don't even know that it's their seed. This is the reason why the children are named after the father and not the mother.
That's very logical. But we are not a logical culture.
Let's talk about it.
It's not a black woman. This is not a black thing anymore. It's a modern culture now. It's not logical. Everything that they're even doing now with all the extra communities, that these communities are literally not even more than 1% of the population, are now implementing so many rules on the rest of the world. and the way that we raise our children. That's not logical.
Yeah.
They are people, absolutely. They also, it doesn't mean they have a mental disease. So like the people who are the T word, they are who they are, because there were people way back in the day who were hermaphrodites. There were people way back in the day in Egypt who were, so it ain't new, but they were the very, very, very minute. And usually those people were put in positions where they were wizards and oracles. They were given high positions. But now this movement has now put it where now these people get to imprint onto our children and how we speak. And no, the way it's supposed to be is they were supposed to be elevated and then kind of left to their own devices, because they had time to study and read and take all those potions to really see the future and all these other, and we would come as mortals to like, hey, we need advice. We need to figure out how to make sure our kingdom doesn't get taken over. They had a very important position.
Space. Yes, sir. Yeah,
but you stay here. And when you come down with the peons, we're gonna look at you like, oh, that's that. Don't look at them too long. They're cherished, but they're also feared.
Right.
It's supposed to be the same way it is now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
But they never think about that because they're too busy trying to guard what they call their own. First of all, woman, if you are married, you don't own yourself. As a matter of fact, you are owned by your husband. Boy, I can't wait for the Jezebels. Let's see how many Jezebels manifest on this one. Ha! That's the reason why your homes ain't worth shit. Neither one of them are. I'm telling you, your homes ain't worth shit. Your preachers ain't worth shit. Your mamas ain't worth shit. Your daddy ain't shit. Ain't nobody shit. And you're producing shit in your life. When you turn around here and you all sitting up here think you got the arrogancy and the audacity and the unmitigated gall to sit up here and speak against this preacher right here who's telling you the order of things. You are to obey. You are to conform to his image. You are to make sure that that man, when he comes home, his meal is cooked. As the new saying out on the street is, you're to make sure that his belly is full and his nutsack is empty. That's what you are there for. You're there to make sure that you be a chase keeper at home, that you guide the house. That's what you do. You love your husband.
Okay, so, because it's so important. It's so important, and I think so many of our women miss that point, right? Especially the feeding and the emptying of the balls. Like, and not to disrespect you, and I mean this so respectfully, but men are so simple. They are so freaking simple. Women are complicated. We're complicated because we deal with emotion. Men are simple because they deal in logic, right? It's either right or wrong. It's this or that. It's white or black. It's like, it's no gray area. It's just what is, right? I get that. Us women need to understand and realize, I promise you, my love, and I know there are some women that can say, well, I will feed him and I will empty his balls and he'll still go out there and cheat. But then I can say, well, what else are you projecting in the home? Maybe after you do what you do, you got an attitude. Maybe while you're doing what you're doing, you got an attitude. Like, it's all about energy and vibes. And you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants to be around somebody that's a Debbie Downer. Nobody wants to be around somebody that's always complaining. Nobody wants to be around somebody that is just negative or mean or aggressive or like pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants that. I promise you, most men that I've talked to, they're literally, the feeding part we got down pat. Women can cook, we got it. Hey, we got it. Men can cook, we got it, right? Emptying their balls. Now, yeah, they can masturbate, but do they want to? Do they have to? That's the question. Do they have to? Do they have to? Because they can go out and find somebody to empty their balls.
Right.
But that is a necessity.
If you are married to a man, should he ever masturbate? Because let's keep it 100. If a man is masturbating, he's putting in other thoughts of other women into his brain. Okay.
Hey.
And especially with the way that porn is now, you're inviting another. Let's say that hypothetically, Ms. Parker, me and you are married, all right? Let me go ahead and put that out there,
You
right?
already married to me, I know.
Okay. Anyway, so we're married, right? And I'm working, I'm doing all these things, I'm doing the right shit. And over time, you're starting to get used to me. Now, according to Christianity, what you should be doing is one, getting back to where I met you, or trying to figure out different ways to seduce me and give me different energies, because you're supposed to be seducing and I'm supposed to be providing. Now, when you throw me that oop, it's my job to throw it down. But you're supposed to be the one that who gets it started. What happens too many times is that women get used to their man. And so now you've gotten used to me, and you may not say go look at porn, but if I'm not getting that energy, I'm gonna start looking at porn. Now all of a sudden I'm looking at other women, and then how the universe happens is I'm gonna end up getting seduced by some woman that reminds me of what I've been watching on porn.
Right.
I'm gonna start to be, or some woman's gonna remind me of how cool I really am, or how smart I really am, or how thoughtful I really am, or this is what really makes men cheap, how funny I really am. Once a woman gets used to your jokes and they're not funny to her anymore, I always say that's a countdown for him to cheat. Because once you can't make your woman laugh the way that, once you can't bring joy into that relationship when she's maybe stressed out and she's like, oh, baby, that's why I love talking to you. Thank you. I was having a shit day and you so silly. Once that's gone, the man has lost his power. And then some other woman's gonna be like, oh my God, you are that fake. Ooh, once a woman give you that fake laugh, we fall for it, you know? And all of a sudden our pants are down. We don't know how it happened. You got to keep it up.
I agree. I'm not gonna even. I'm not gonna talk about it. I agree.
You keep a man's balls completely drained. I remember my grandma said, like, she saw as disrespectful if my papa got a hard on around her.
Yes.
Don't you? I know you ain't. Oh, we about to wherever we at.
I'm gonna handle it.
Yes, because
yes.
How dare you? Don't you know that? Yes.
Who I am?
Right, but our women will be like, I remember before I broke up with my ex, she was like, she said, I was like, yo, and she's like, just go in the shower and go masturbate. And I knew that. I was like, oh, ain't no point in me being here. I refuse to be in a relationship where I'm just sad in the shower, whack. And I told her, we broke up a week later. I was like, yeah, I'll be damned.
Yeah.
I'll be damned to just be Will Smith and in the shower alone, you know, just no, not me. I'm better than that. I deserve better than that.
Yes, sir. So, yeah. Yes, you do.
It's your job. If you want to keep a good man and you have no safety net, you want to keep a good man, that's the least you can do.
The least. Hello.
Now, if he's trash at sex, then, you know, hey, you pick bad. But
that part. Why are you with him?
Right.
Hello.
So, your thoughts on that?
I agree. 1,000%. I am all about keeping my man's balls empty so nobody else is emptying them. Hello. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for you to go out and search for somebody to empty your balls. I got this. Where you going? What?
But that's the problem now because you're working. This is why it's important for a woman not to be working. This is why it's important for a man to put a woman in a position.
I'm working. We get up at the same time. Yes, and we're gonna do it, and I'm gonna go to work and come home. But
so you can detach the stress from work.
Oh, definitely. But I'm different. I'm not I want people to aspire to do the things that I do, but I'm different. I'm like yes. Sex is a major part because I know it's a major part for my man. And whatever he's interested in and whatever it is that he wants to do, I need to be interested in and want to do it as well and enjoy it. And I love it because he loves it.
That's very logical and very simple. You're gonna be wife. Somebody gonna wife you up. Ain't gonna be long. This your year.
It's my year. Yeah.
It's your year.
WTP. It's my year. Yes,
Hey,
I'm ready.
Like I said, stay on your workout plan. Ooh, within like 2 months, you're gonna be there, and people are gonna see your light.
I love you because you pointed out my fat. I can't.
You had to clap. It was just one jiggle. In the past, it's maybe 3. You know. So like, I was like, you getting there? Do them planks.
I love you. I love that motivation. Yes, sir. I love that motivation. You don't know. That's why you're my friend. That's why you are my friend. I love that motivation. Okay, let's go back to what the Pastor Dow say, and then we're going to end it because I don't want to play all of his video. I just want to play a smidget, just so women understand the role of what it is that a wife is supposed to be. Just in case you didn't know, I just wanted to give you some type of toolage. Did I say it right? I'm a little bit tipsy.
It's your show.
Too legit
Too legit to quit. Yeah. Really?
I just want to give it just a little bit of knowledge. I'm gonna say it like that since I can't pronounce the other word. Say knowledge. Just because this show is highlighting things that people already know, right? That's all my show is about. All I'm doing is highlighting things that people already know. These are things that people know, simple things that they can do that they are too selfish to do and need to be more selfless. So let's get back to Pastor Dow. And then when I end this, I want to have more dialogue with you.
Love your children and guide the house. You are in a subordinate role, woman. And because many of you can't do that, but you rather go out here and do monkey double backflips, you rather go out here and open up your legs to every Tom, Dick, Harry, Mud, and Jeff and having all the fun you can while you're sitting up there becoming chaotically insane. You expect to have the value of a virgin even though you're a hoe. I'd be damned if that's so. Ain't no way in hell. I'd be damned if that's so. And for those of you who say, well, Pastor, look at this cussing preacher. Matter of fact, I know I'm dealing with ignorant people. I haven't said one cuss word yet, believe it or not, in this scripture. What I have said is things that is in the book. Now, I know ship, height, and transit ain't in the book. But I have not said one cuss word, believe it or not. I have cursed nobody. Go learn what that means. Well, see, this is the reason why that women 100 years ago, 50 years ago, was a hell of a lot better than these Mistress Miles women today. I mean, I'm serious. And that's the reason why today, you check it out, you see women who have had bad experiences, who see a good man, a good provider, want to become part of that family. Now, let me say this. Not every man out there is going to want to be in polygyny. I'm serious. They're not. But boy, if you got a man, a husband out there, you don't think he's desirable by other women. As a matter of fact, did you know that in Isaiah 4:1, it says that 7 women will take a hold of one man and said, let us be called by your name to take away our reproach. Yep. 7 women. Are we not at those numbers today in society? To where a woman can't even find a good man today, and a man is definitely slim pickings when it comes to finding a woman. It's definitely slim pickings when it's coming to finding. There's hardly zero wife material out here in the United States of America at all. Zero, nada, none. You got these women that believe that they're equal to man. But remind you, the type of quality they like is when they have an advantage. They don't like the equality when you have to take on the responsibility and do what a man has to do. Then all of a sudden, they want.
Okay. Because that is so important. That is a gem that we definitely need to discuss.
Okay.
How important is it for women? Like he said, the equality is for them to have leverage as well. And how important is that for women in today's time? And why? What do you think?
The equality is for single women. The equality is for women who want to be massively single. And that's where those are the women who want that equality to men, because they are not, and they still might get married, they still might get a man, but equality is for the single-minded woman. So she's like, well, I'm going to be single. I want to make sure I'm getting all these man perks, because she's not going to really be submitting to a man providing. So equality, corporate or whatever, I want equality because I want to get equality in the workforce. When in reality, as a woman, you shouldn't even be in this white supremacy workforce in the first place. You should be spending real time, and your real year should be looking to make sure that you pick a man that is going to be able to put you in a position where you don't have to work. Now, you might be working when you're with that man in your 20s, because that's when you're building, and that man has seen you build with him. But by the time that you're, let's say 25, 26, if you've picked the right man, you should be able to fall back and either work for him or not be working at all, and then start to build your nest, because he knows it's smarter to start building the nest at a young age with you, not for you to, well, okay, now you're 30, now let's do it. No, if he's the right man. And this is why I think it's very important that we kind of look at this in our culture and start to look at age gap dating again. I think that actually that women who are in their 22s should be with men who are already in their 30s. And the problem is we are dating at the same age, and then we're divorcing because of financial reasons. If we take it logically, a man that's older is going to be that sugar daddy type. That sugar daddy type is probably the person you should be married to in the first place. That sugar daddy type where you can just sit back and enjoy the comforts. Those are the same comforts you're going to want to have when you have a baby. When you have a child, you want to be able to sit back and have that comfortable life. That sugar daddy is going to be able to bring in other women to help you and be not just the doulas who, kind of teach. No, a woman that's there 24 hours a day. A woman that's there always, not even just one woman, because you're a woman. You want different energies around you. You don't want just the same woman around you during this time. And a man who's a sugar daddy type is the person that can provide that. And then the last part I want to make is that also means that maybe, just maybe, in our culture, we need to stop giving babies to the men who are the 6 feet tall, big dick, look all good type men. It maybe means we have to start giving babies to the men that are under maybe 5'9", who are shorter, who ain't so good in bed. But those men can provide a whole different type of lifestyle for you, because that should be the goal of the community. If all the men who, and this, I'm on the other side, I'm 6 feet, I just made it. I'm strapped. I do well, but those men were not the greatest fathers. Those men were not the best providers.
Right.
The men that look good, who talk good, who can say those clever things, those probably aren't the right men that should be procreating in our society. If our women really switch and focus on the men that are actually putting in the work, who are actually doing all the hard work, and who are actually providing and being ignored, our culture would change immediately in a positive way. Because those men would never thought they would have got that chance. Those men would actually step up and be stepfathers. Those men would take on the responsibility of being a stepfather and stepping up and be, if they were actually given real rights to the children, those men would step up in an enormous way, because they would never think that they would get someone like a Miss Parker. They've never had a Miss Parker give them attention. They never had someone like Miss Parker notice their value and their truth and be able to be their muse. Most of the amazing women are muses to the ain't shit ass niggas. They give their energy to those men who don't deserve it, who just talk the right game, who fuck the right way, who are looking the right, who got that good hair and the good chocolate skin, or that good lights, who got those green eyes. Those men need to be ignored. Maybe. I just have an idea.
I love it.
But we got y'all have the sexual desire and this is what Ingram speaks about, from being viciously turned out. Y'all been having that great sex. So could women go back could they ignore their sexual desires for the greater good? Or would they probably have to do some side cheating?
I think not. I think that once you've been exposed to that, you are constantly looking for that. And even if you find a person that you vibe with, if he doesn't satisfy you sexually as the previous man has, it's a problem. Because again, we are only meant to be with one person, right? And I preach this, even though I'm not. I can't say that I was the person that only just been with one person, but I understand the concept of the ideology of the spirits being brought into place. And then just not even the spirits, not even taking on the man's spirits, but physically being or sexually being satisfied, right? And so that sets a standard. Just as in the people that you date, it sets a standard. Like if you find somebody that you feel is out of your league, that sets your new standard, right? It's the same thing with sex. He sets the standard of what sex should be. And then everybody isn't like that. You may be an anomaly, right? And now you're comparing everybody to this man, and now you're wasting your life away trying to find this man again.
And you're pairing it with marijuana.
Well.
When you pair it with the marijuana and the red wine, so whenever you start to smoke and drink again, you're gonna start reminiscing about that same your base level. You can't go back.
I mean, this thing is
why it's important. When you pair marijuana with amazing memories, that memory gonna stay with you for the rest of your days.
Right.
And whenever you start to ingest that marijuana again and start to hear that song, or you start to smell that incense, or you start to it's gonna make you reminisce of those feelings. And maybe you don't go back to that man, but you're gonna go right back to that man's energy. And that man's energy is, I want to be a nigga. I want to be, not I want to be your provider. Not that I want to be, I'm your nigga. And all those sweet things he's whispered in your ear when he was clapping from the back.
No. Yeah.
Am I making you blush? I'm sorry. It's too early for this.
I'm not. No, you're spot on. You're so spot on. And this is what I teach my younger women. Like, you don't want to get too involved with too many men because you can't come back from that. It's hard. It is so hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am rewatching the originals, which is one of my favorite shows. And I love it because not all the demonic stuff that goes on, but just the family, the loyalty, the logic that it makes sense at the end of the day. For me, it has to make sense. I don't do well in gray area. It's either black or white for me, right? It has to make it needs to make sense for me, right? In order for me to understand, like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I get that. I can understand that. But for our women, because we are so emotional, logic goes out the window. So when I'm communicating with my sisters, they're not understanding what it is that I'm saying because they're in their emotions instead of thinking in their logic. So it may be difficult. Like, it's always happened. Everybody, I tell them something and they come back and be like, you know what, Miss Parker, you was right. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always come back and be like, you was right. I remember when you told me this. I remember when you told me that, and yada, yada. And I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Like, I knew you'd be back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but most won't even come back and acknowledge that you were right. Most will just stay in that and stay with.
Well, those that don't acknowledge that I'm right, they don't come back. They don't even want to come back.
And that's
because
probably the majority.
They want to waddle in their truth.
Yes.
Instead of the
living
truth.
Your truth is living your lie.
Instead of the truth. Like, I hate that society puts this thing on your perception is your truth. Pause. The truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. And it cannot be denied. You know what I'm saying? It can't be fabricated. It's the truth is the truth. Like, the real truth.
Okay, yes, the real truth. Yes.
Right. The real truth is the truth. Your truth is a fabrication of your mind. It may not necessarily, sometimes it aligns with the real truth, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes you're delusional.
But in our society values a woman's lie more than the real truth.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, sorry. Think of Facebook, think of social media, think of even court cases. The woman's idea of what happened, the woman's version of that story is always more entertaining and more valued to society than the actual logical truth. Nobody really wants the logical truth of why somebody broke up with them. Nobody wants the logical truth of why maybe this person and this person had to break up a union where they had children. They want the woman's truth because that version is going to be more entertaining. That version is going to be more able to laugh at and drink about it. Because if you got the actual truth, ooh, that's bitter. That's bitter. Who wants that? That's shit. Who? That's how it went down. Yeah. Man. But a woman's truth is going to be entertaining with laughter, and she's going to have a support system of other women that laugh about it, and you get to see that woman's narrative be spun in a horrible way, and then the man is completely outside the box and just like, wait, what really happened? And he doesn't even have a man circle too much to tell what really happened, because most of those men who he thinks are in his man circle, they're going to go with that woman's truth because they still want to sleep with you. If I have friends and you have friends, and Miss Parker, we was married, but it didn't work out. You have your friend circle, you have your sisters, and I try to go to my man in my man circle. All of a sudden, I realize they in your inbox because friends suck, especially if it's a sexy woman, a good-looking woman like a Miss Parker. My friends ain't gonna be my friends. My friends are gonna go right with your narrative and your story. They might, man, yeah, she did you wrong, yeah. Right in your inbox, ready to cuddle talk. And gonna be, yeah, Miss, I always liked you. You got to watch your friends. You only need 3 men. 3. If you got more than 3 friends, you got too many. 3 men, they will hold you down. So yeah, our narrative doesn't get hurt. Our narrative doesn't, no one wants it. They want your narrative because it looks good. It sounds good. It comes off with a sense of humor. And people want to naturally console a good looking woman.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that women are the most protected species, like in America. You know what I'm saying? By law, not by the men, but just by law, we're protected, and so therefore we're able to create a narrative, right? But I always, what's crazy is I always said that when I tell I tell the truth because I can't remember my lies. So I don't like to be caught up in a lie. So I'm gonna just tell you the truth because first and foremost, I always felt like I grew up on if you treat people how you want to be treated, they're gonna treat you the same. So I was naive in that aspect, but that was my life growing up. Like that was how I modeled myself, right? And so with lies, I didn't lie because for why? Like I don't want to be caught up. I can't remember it. Like I'm gonna forget that I told you what I said, and then I don't like to get caught up. I don't like somebody to be like, "Well, you said," and I'm like, "I said that." Oh shit! Like I don't like that. I don't like that feeling, right? So I'm honest and I'm truthful. I think that because women are protected, they take advantage, and that's when they implement their truth instead of the truth, right? And I loathe it. I loathe it with such disdain because the truth is the truth. And the truth, you would be able to prove your truth, right? Women are so delusional that in their mind, they can create something. Like I've worked in labor and delivery. I've known women that came into the office, right? That have had all of the pregnancy symptoms and was not pregnant. Because in their mind, they believed that they was pregnant. The body resembled pregnancy symptoms. Like that is just how prevalent somebody's perception of truth is, and not the truth. Right?
That's why they always say hold a mirror to your, like the whole body positivity thing. If you are truly as confident in your body as you say that you are, take the wig off, take the makeup off, take the clothes off, and stand in front of a mirror for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, after you've turned around and shown, if you are completely fine with what you see, then that's fine. But if you start to really, if you like, the truth's gonna hit you.
Right.
After about 15 minutes in front of that mirror, just naked, nothing holding nothing in place. If you're satisfied with what you see, by all means, be that. But if you're not, and deep down you're not, then do something about it. Yeah. Change it. Fix it. It's the mirror test. Not what your friends ain't there. You ain't got no accessories, a whole whatever.
Don't encourage me.
And you see, okay, You can fix it.
This is
Everything
me.
can be fixed.
Yes, sir.
Not surgically. Do some
Yes, sir.
jumping. Go out there and change your pattern. Change what you're eating. That's where the body positivity needs to be. Body positivity is now like shaping women to go get these surgeries. That's what it may not. It's not quite there yet, but that's where it's going. Where like once you're just, I'm happy with what this is. Okay, now that I'm already happy with it, let me just go get that sliced off. Let me go get that. That's what they're marketing it to, because I'm living it in my truth. My truth
but how
is
many men are doing the same thing in today's time?
Yeah, because I'm about to live in my truth and get me one of them fake toupees.
You know what?
So, yeah. LeBron doing it, so I can do it. Yeah, so I'm gonna live in my truth as soon as I figure it out. You know,
I'm not messing with you.
I ain't gonna have no toupee at home alone. I'm here by myself and shit. But if I'm going out, oh yeah, I'm gonna get me one of them, get my waves back. So yeah, we doing the same thing.
But how much is that contributing to self-hate and or not self-love?
I think a huge amount of it, because you have self-hate and you can surgically repair it, you think, but then what happens is it becomes an addiction. You find more and more things you hate about yourself, and that's why a lot of those times I know women who have gotten a boob job and that was it, and it's different. Like they had them A's, and they was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get to. They didn't go to like no double D. Let me get to a C, and they were able to get it, and they were able to be in their feminine. They're like, they got new energy, they got better. Like, okay, I get it. But then there's some women who get it, and then all of a sudden they start wanting to enhance more and more and more and more, and that's where it's becoming a problem. There's some women who can wear makeup, and it's okay. They just, it's all about balance. But once it becomes everything, and then all of a sudden you hear that woman say, "I can't even go outside without makeup.
Oh,
I can't even go to Walmart without putting on my face." Putting on your face, that's not who you are. That's not your face. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be just a bit of, and there's some women, I've made love to that woman, and we've had a great moment. And the next morning, wait, don't look at me. Wait, what? We just had sex. Well, yeah, but that was when I would have my face on. Let me run to the bathroom and then we can come. It's a problem.
wow.
And this is what a lot of men are talking about. It's like, we see you in your most intimate moments, and then you have to go back to your facade. That's hard for us to deal with long term. We want a woman that's in her nature, natural, and then she can add on all these accessories. Hell, then you can throw on the wigs and all that. But once your lineup is way back here because you've been pulling your shit back, so for your entire life,
that's not.
taught you that.
You know what? I'm not gonna let you say that.
Now our sister got they live from the Sade tribe.
I'm not gonna let you say it. I'm not, because it's not always that. It's not always somebody having wigs, and there's always somebody.
I didn't say always, but it's a good majority.
It is. I give you that.
Okay.
I give you that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You like, I ain't calling that nigga after this no more.
What? I love it. I love it. I love it. But I'm still gonna push back. Pause. Okay. I'm still gonna push back on certain things because I know that men have this concept and this aura about women, and then I just definitely want to differentiate what is fake and what's true. So it's not always, the wigs and stuff like that. Like it's literally, we're cursed. Let's not forget that. Okay. That is still a part of our curse. Our hair won't grow. That is still a part of our curse. Let's not forget that. You know what I'm saying? And so that is the idea of most women.
Okay.
Right? No matter what they try, how they try, products, the stimulating of the scalp, taking care of your hair and all that, it just won't grow. That's just a part of the curse. So let me just distinguish that, right?
Okay.
And then I think that for a lot of our women, the preference of men is longer hair, right? Okay. And so women will try to do things to look the preference to get the man, to get the outcome that they want. They're trying to identify themselves as the preference of what it is that men want. And that
You're
even goes to
absolutely
bleaching
correct.
your skin because of a preference.
True.
Because of a preference, right? So I'm
Yeah.
not sure, how good preference is, because I always feel like it alienates a different part of people. But then I still go back to your parents. Like because I grew up where I was so teased behind the color of my skin because I was dark skinned, and I was called every burnt, crispy. Kids are cruel. Kids are honest. Let me not say kids are cruel. Kids are honest.
They
Kids
honestly
know.
cruel.
I won't say they're cruel. I'm not gonna say kids are cruel because they really don't
I'll
have
send you a
that.
video of my kids making fun of my bald spot yesterday. They just did that shit. I will
They're
send you the video
honest.
when we finish.
You're bald. They're honest, right?
You're gonna make me cry on your show. We better have an Oprah moment. Is this what we're gonna do? We're gonna have a
No, my
Barbara
love.
Walters.
No, my love. Kids are honest, especially elementary, junior high, when they're still in their pure innocence. They just say what they see, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. But the other child is affected by it. But they're only affected if they're not getting the reassurance from their parents. That's what I was going to say. I feel, because I didn't have that growing up. My children are dark skinned. Like, I had children by men that were dark skinned. And so they're both dark skinned as well. And from the day they were born, you can't tell my kids, right? That they are not beautiful or fine or attractive, or however they identify. You can't knock down their confidence, because I've built it up so much. Me and their fathers have built up their confidence so much that no matter what the outside world says, they are still living in the truth that they've been raised with. And that's
that's not their truth. That is the truth.
The truth.
There's a difference.
Yeah. But having that encouragement, having that validation, I think from the parents means something to children. You know what I'm saying? Irregardless of anything. If you like, my mama said I'm beautiful. Like, I don't care what my mama said I'm handsome. Like, I don't care what you talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? That valid, or my daddy said I'm beautiful. My daddy said I'm handsome. My daddy said I'm this. My daddy said I'm a king. Like, that validation means something. Irregardless of whatever it is that you go through, charity begins at home and spreads abroad.
Would you still apply that same thing to, let's say, two parents who were, take the skin color out, because what you did was great. But what if you had two parents who were overweight, and then all of a sudden they have overweight children? And they're telling that child, well, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. And now that child, by the same standard, is living in what they think is the truth.
Well, at the end of the day, people can only do and say what it is that they know. And the world will give them a dose, not even the world, the doctor is going to give them a dose of reality.
Okay.
They're not going to listen to the world, because the world doesn't matter, because they've been validated from their parents. But somebody they respect, like the doctor, they're going to listen to. And they're going to be like, oh, let me change this. Especially if there's a threat. If there's no threat, like, people only change when there's consequences. So if there's no threat and them living or dying behind their weight choices or their food choices, they're going to continue to do what they do. If that makes sense.
I think we ignore the threat. I think in our community, we ignore the threat of bad health. Maybe because we're already threatened anyway. We have so many threats.
What's another threat? Add it to the list.
Right. I'm gonna eat because I could die anyway on some BS. And that's part. Yeah, I'm in these streets. Someone might hit. I might get hit by a bus. But first off, I don't know. That Final Destination movie had traumatized the Black community, because every time you talk about you can eat right. I ain't eating right. I could get hit by a bus. How many people been hit by buses? Right? I can understand I might get shot tomorrow.
Right.
But it's all, I might get hit by a bus. They pull buses. They ain't do nothing to us.
You know what? I'm not messing with you. You get on my nerves. Okay, so let's hear the last of Pastor Dell, and then we're going to continue the conversation. Oh, it's in the middle. I'm going to cut this video off, though.
Want to be in the role of a Isaiah, a wife or a woman. Nah, can't have it both ways. Can't have your cake you need it to. Bottom line is, the reason why a lot of Israelite families stay together in the book is because the women wasn't out doing a nature that is, matter of fact, that's only conducive to a man. A woman does not have a right to be jealous over her husband or another woman. Boy, I really done messed y'all up now. The Bible says jealousy is the rage of a man. That's not in generic. The Bible says over in Numbers, the 5th chapter, that if a man detects that his woman done stepped out on him, I'm paraphrasing for y'all, and a spirit of jealousy come up on him. Notice, man. A man. Notice, the Bible says that Yah, our Elohim, the Lord thy God, is a jealous God. No, it don't say nothing about a woman being jealous. That is a learned behavior. Because you're walking after an alternative perspective in this society right here, and not a true society. Listen, I know I'm under no illusion whatsoever at all. Believe you me, I'm not. I use a hell of a lot of self-autonomy. I do a lot of independent thinking. Yes, I do too. I promise I do. I realize that there are challenges given this particular environment and this world that we're living in right now. I know that there are not too many women out there that you can model yourself after. But then, even at that, I don't see too many women that want to model themselves after a righteous, sanctified, set-apart, holy woman or mother, older mother. See, Rada is old enough to be a mother in Israel. And the advice that she's putting down and she's throwing down, man, she could give y'all younger generation. That woman right there, along with Mother Carol, Mama Nellie, even my younger side, Summer, and as well as Elder Rufus's, Ishiah's, them, and man, you can take what they got to say. Listen, there ain't no more wiggle room. Even my daughter Erica, man, if you want to learn how to be an Ishiah successful wife, and mind you, every single one of these Ishiahs are all chase keepers at home, and all of them treat. I'm telling you. My Ishiahs treat me like a king. You know why? Because I know I'm a king. Yeah, I'm kings and priests. You better believe it. And I act like it, but I rule like it. But you know, when I use the word rule, most of you would take it in a negative and derogatory way, but it's not. I don't have to rule with a rod of iron, even though I can rule with a rod of iron. I don't have to. You know why? Because they take such good care of me. I very rarely, if at all, have to actually raise my voice, having contentions in the house. No, don't do none of that. Because in my home, in my house, and this is the way it should be in every man's house, the man is the king of his castle, and if he ain't happy, then ain't no damn body in the house happy. How about that? See, they done flipped the script on y'all. That's why we have all these dysfunctional homes. You got women out here, man, that's been so mentally abused and used by men thinking they're just the next one, and they think they got to put out to do it. Where's the woman that's going to be taught by the older woman to preserve yourself for your man when you get married? And then you submit to him. You treat him. You know, the Bible says in Ephesians, the 5th chapter, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. You're supposed to submit. You're supposed to actually look at your husband like he is the Lord Jesus himself. You're supposed to submit to him in so much of a way that the submission that you submit to the Lord Jesus with, you're supposed to submit your husband the same way. Now, your husband ain't God. He knows that. He knows that. But that's the type of level of submission. That's the type of level of obedience. That's the type of level of servitude that you should, because you ain't equal to him, are you? That's the way it should be. 1 Corinthians chapter 11 gives you the pecking order. Go check it out. But you can't get bad advice from people who have bad lives and bad experiences, I'm telling you. Because all they're going to do is screw up the younger generation that's coming after them and make them, hey, we're already going from bad to worse. You don't need to go from bad to worse. You need to be getting better. Even if you are the remnant that's only getting better in a society, at least take good advice from women who have a track record that fits the bill. And Rhoda, the last time I checked, I think she's been married 21 something years. And man, the way she reverences her husband, that's what the book says. The Bible says, and woman, you see that you reverence your husband. In case you didn't know what reverence means, it's almost like a form of worship. See, because you say, I ain't gonna do that, because you say, I ain't never do that, I ain't calling my master, we know you ain't going to no kingdom either, because you're defiled in your mouth, you're defiled in your conscience, you're defiled in your mind. Matter of fact, you just foul all over. I bet you smell foul too. I bet you're giving off a demonic odor.
All right. And we are going to end it there. There's so much that we can talk about, but I just really want to give a synopsis of the role of a wife according to the Bible. Being a chase keeper at home. Like, so many men expect this type of woman, but how many of them are actually prepared to even provide for this woman? Like, are you even ready for this? Is this... So many men talk about there are no women out here that are like this, right? Are you ready for a wife like this? Can you handle a wife like this? Are you ready for a wife that's willing to serve you, to submit to you as they submit to the Most High? Because that's what we're supposed to do. According
you asking me a rhetorical question, or is this like a question for the people? Because
it's a rhetorical question. It's the question for the people.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Shit. Don't test me.
I know it looks like I'm talking to you. I know. I'm not talking to you directly. I am just strictly speaking on, are you really ready for this
Most
type
men are
of a
not.
wife?
Most men are not.
Exactly. Like you speaking, I hear, because I'm in these YouTube streets, and so I hear so many men speak on, a woman isn't this, a woman isn't that, yada, yada, yada. But are you ready? Are you prepared? Because what I have known is what you see.
And is your family prepared to support you
right.
in that?
But what I've known is what you seek, you shall find.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've known, right? So therefore, from my understanding of what you seek, you shall find, meaning you are already the person that you are asking for. And how many of you out there are the person that is asking for what it is that you want? Like, that's the real question. That's probably should have been my thing. But I wanted to give, because my last video was just of Mother Carol and her version of what a wife was. And so then I wanted to give Pastor Dow, his wife, her husband, his version of what a wife was from a man's perspective. And then not only what a wife is, but what it is that the man is supposed to be. Expecting a wife that you're expecting. Because I think so many men are expecting this virtuous woman, but you're not virtuous yourself. You're not someone that a woman can lead, can follow. You're not. Like, you're not even there yet. And you're sitting here and you're asking for this and you're not even prepared or ready. And not to say that the women are, because we already know it's not a lot of women that's not. We got a lot of work to do.
I have a lot of work to do. It's equal exchange. Both sides are equal. Both sides are equally wrong.
Right.
Both sides have equal toxins. It's not like we have a majority of men who are ready to be these husbands that they're yelling that they are.
Right.
And it's not like we have a lot of women who are claiming to be. We're all liars. Right. We have a whole lot of liars in our community. We have a bunch of women saying they're ready to be wives and they're not. We have a whole lot of men talking about they're ready to lead when they don't know how to lead. They haven't witnessed men leading. It's just an idea, and they haven't been put in practice. This is why us as a community, we have to start looking at other communities of men and learning how to lead. And our women have to start looking at other women to learn how to submit, instead of us always making fun of those communities and laughing at those communities. And we need to be watching them, because trust and believe, those communities are watching and studying us. The white people study us like crazy. So let's go ahead and start studying them back, but not the elite ones, but the country ones, the ones who are outside the box. There's people who are making compounds during this pandemic and learning how to unite and make for whatever's coming in this world the next few years. That's what we should have been doing as a community, but instead we went right back to the barbershop and salon arguments. This whole time during the pandemic, there could have been spent with real time improving and getting your body where you wanted to be, and getting your mind where you wanted to be, and getting your finances where you, and fixing your family the way that it needed to be fixed. That didn't happen in our communities. It happened in all the other communities. All the other communities had town halls and with their families like, yo, this shit about to get crazy. We need to find out what our core family code is. And if it aligns with what's coming in the world, then fine. But if it's not, we need to start figuring out how to hoard and how to be self-sufficient. Most of us in our community have not done this. And that's why they're laughing at us.
True. I totally agree. I appreciate you for
I appreciate you coming back to this space.
Yeah, I know. Happy New Year, my love.
Happy New Year.
We are well off into January. When do you cut off saying Happy New Year to somebody? I don't know.
Hey, we're gonna talk about what's been happening for you in these last few months, because you fell off the earth. So we're gonna talk about it. You know, it's a safe space with me.
Okay, I got it. Right.
And you missed my joke, but I think we have to come back because he spoke one real thing with like the that man who's that honorable man, for he is the Son of God. And it doesn't mean that he is a Jesus, but it means that he's the Son of God. And let's keep it 100. During sex, when that man is doing the right things, you call him Jesus. You call him Jesus in all types of lordly names during sex. But what about around the house? What about when
I got your joke?
So sisters be like, that's blasphemous. Hold up, y'all yell to any Harold, Tom, and whoever. Y'all call that man Jesus when it's that in that moment. But when it's a husband, can you call that? Can you see him as a Jesus as well, as someone who you truly follow? Yes. We'll talk about that the next. We'll talk about that the next time. It's gonna be a shit starter conversation, I think. But I think it's.
I am ready for it. You know, I'm ready.
Moving your shoulders and shit. All right, we're gonna be ready for it.
I'm ready. Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you for coming up and coming with me, my love. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. And you know me, I'm about to share the shit out of it.
I love it. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. Give me a call when you finish, and I'll let you do your little wrap up. And I'll hold off on my workout. So I'm
Please waiting do, because I'm going to call you. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I'll see you soon.
Okay. You know, WTP made a really good point on us addressing the men in our life, or the men that's supposed to be the leaders of us, right? Because the Bible says that we submit to the Most High, and God said that man is made in the image of God. Man. He didn't say woman. He said man. Man was made specifically in the image of God, right? One man was made in the image of man. Hence why we call woman, right? Hence why we came from the rib of the man. God didn't roll us up in the clay, in the dirt, and shape us up to make us like he made man. No. He didn't. He literally picked the rib and then molded us, right? So we do come from the man. This is reason why we become one man, because it came from the womb of the man, right? And so WTP made a point, because we are supposed, if man is made in the image of God, then we're looking at man as he is God, or we're supposed to. For our husbands, let me make this specifically clear, because I think a lot of men walk around thinking that women are supposed to be under their authority at all costs, rather they are your husbands or not. That is so false, my loves. And any man that try to tell you that doesn't make you his wife and wants to rule over you is a joke. You understand me? The only man that has authority and can rule over you is your husband. That's the only one that you give your allegiance to. That's the only one that you give your praises to. And yes, according to the Bible, you look at him. That's what the Bible talks about, master. See, I know a lot of y'all think that because of slavery and what they have taught us and brought us with this Christianity BS, that master is what we were brought into, and we supposed to obey our masters like the slave masters that was over us. That's not what God was talking about. That's not what the Bible was talking about, my love. God was talking about your master. Your master is your husband. Okay? I know it's an unpopular situation. I know it's an unpopular statement. I get it. I know it, my loves. I know it. But it's the truth. And the truth can be proven. This is what God said. Your husband is your master because he rules over you. We don't. I know it. I say it. I say it for y'all. I run amok in these streets when I don't have a covenant. When I don't have a man ruling over me, making decisions, I run a freaking amok. And it's not just me. I know these women. I know y'all. Well, that's just you. It's just you. You run amok. That's just you. I'm all right. I'm fine. Pause. We all need leadership. And God designed for the man to be the leader of us. And I promise you, you'll be so free as long as you fall under the leadership of the man that God has ordained for you. Let's talk about it. So many of our women are conjugating themselves with men who isn't for them. So of course you feel like what I'm saying is false. Of course you feel like, I'm going to let this man rule. Pause. If the man isn't, I wouldn't say allowed. If he isn't structured enough to rule over you, why are you dealing with him? If he isn't structured enough to lead you, why are you dealing with him? If he isn't following the Most High, if he don't submit to the Most High, because let me tell you something about me. I can't submit to a man that don't submit. And who he submits to is he submits to the Most High. And therefore, I could submit to him. Because if you don't, you lost and I'm lost. Where we going? In circles? Why? Because you don't know who you are or where you've been? Think about it. Again, I hope I sparked a conversation or a thought. And again, today's Tip Tuesday. So I hope I put a little tip in your heart. Until next time, peace and blessings, my love. I holla.